Hello, everyone, and welcome to back to Lane Tech Broadcasting. My name is Gumsang, and I will be your main broadcaster for the night. Tonight, we have an exciting matchup between two rival schools, Lane Tech and Whitney Young. These two schools have historic, intense rivalry between all different sports, not just volleyball. As you all know, this whole week, Lane Tech's main opponent in every sport has been Whitney Young, or is going to be Whitney Young. Tomorrow night, we will be live streaming both Lane Tech flag football and Lane Tech boys tackle football on the varsity levels. Whitney Young has the ball to start. And the serve. And Whitney Young gets the first point from a mistake by the receiver from Lane Tech. And another mistake by Lane Tech gives Whitney Young another point to start the game. A strong serve by Whitney Young's number one gives Lane Tech a point and the first possession of the game. And the serve by Laverde. Nice receive by number 17. And a nice block by Lane Tech. Nice defense by Whitney Young. Lane Tech loading up in attack. Nice block by Whitney. They're loading up another attack. And several confusing spikes by Lane Tech. And Lane Tech wins the barrage of attacks from Whitney Young. Nice block from Lane Tech's number 39 and 8 gives Lane Tech another point. The score is 3-2. Lane Tech leading by 1. Another block by Lane Tech, but this time it is no good. The serve. Lane Tech loading up an attack. Nice block by Whitney Young. And the spike is too hard. Too much power behind that serve. Gives Lane Tech a point. Lane Tech on the serve. Just goes out of bounds. Number 17 for Whitney. The serve. And a mistake by Lane Tech's liberal gives Whitney Young another point. Scores 4-5. Whitney Young leading. A strong serve that goes out of bounds by Whitney gives Lane Tech possession again and adds another point to Lane Tech's total. Score is tied. Whitney Young with the attack, and the ball goes in the hole of Lane Tech's defense, giving Whitney Young the point. Nice precision by Whitney Young to gain their point. Nice defense by number 13 on Whitney. And a weak spike towards Lane Tech's hole in their defense gives Whitney Young another point. Scores 5-7. Nice block by Whitney Young. Nice defense by Lane Tech. Loading up in attack. And nice blocks by number 24 and number 13 for Lane Tech. Deflects right back to Whitney Young's side of the court. Number 23 for Lane Tech serving. Spotty defense by Whitney Young gives Lane Tech another point. Score is tied now, 7-7. Great spike by Lane Tech, deflecting off of Whitney Young's defense and out of bounds to gain them another point, and now they're leading. A spotty attack by Whitney Young combined with a spotty defense and miscommunication gives Lane Tech another point. Leading by 2 now. Great save by number 24 for Whitney Young. On the spotty receive. Whitney Young now gaining back possession of the ball. Scores 9-8. Lane Tech leading. Nice dig by number 17. But an unfortunate bump to the other side. Went out of bounds, giving Whitney Young another point. The spike by Lane Tech's number 13 confused the blockers for Whitney Young, deflecting it low into Whitney Young's territory, and the defense couldn't get to the ball, giving Lane Tech yet another point. Lane Tech leading by 1. An error by Whitney Young gives Lane Tech a point. I think someone on their team stepped on the line of the midcourt. Nice defense, but a great deflection of the block by Whitney Young gives Whitney Young back the ball and another point. Scores 11-10. The serve. The attempt for a bump there by Whitney Young by number 24 is not good enough and deflects down to the net and down. Lane Tech leading by 2 and a powered serve, a powered spike goes out of bounds. Lane Tech now leading by 3. Whitney Young with an attack, deflects off of the net and off of the blocks put up by Lane Tech and deflects downwards and into the ground. Whitney Young now with the ball back. Scores 13-11. Lane Tech leading. Deflected off of the block of Lane Tech. An attack. And the spike hits and deflects off of the net and back into Whitney Young's court, giving Lane Tech yet another point. 14-11. Lane Tech leading. Nice serve by Whitney Young. Went through the blocks of Lane Tech, deflecting it downwards into Lane Tech's court, giving them their possession back. Nice recovery by Lane Tech's number 39. And they're saying Lane Tech got hit the ball 4 times, giving Whitney Young their point. The score is now tied off of the deflection of number 8 into the out of bounds territory. Number 24 with the attack. Nice defense of Whitney Young. And a strong serve goes right out of bounds. Whitney Young has given up a lot of points on on spikes and serves that are just way too powerful. Blocked by Lane Tech. Nice recovery by Lane Tech. And the spike by number 6, Flynn. Gives Lane Tech another point. What a powerful serve. Nice recovery off of Whitney Young's error on the return by the nice recovery for Lane Tech, and their defense are holding up. The score is 17-14 as Whitney Young calls for a timeout. A weak serve by Lane Tech hits the net and gives Whitney Young possession. Lane Tech loading up an attack, and the tap in by number 39 confuses Whitney Young, giving Lane Tech another point. The score is 18-15. Nice recovery by Whitney Young. And the block off of Whitney. Nice serve. Lane Tech loading up an attack. And the block of Whitney Young deflects into Lane Tech's out of bounds territory, giving Lane Tech another point. Blocked by Whitney Young. And Whitney Young gets a point off of the deflection of the block. The score is 19-17. Lane Tech still leading this game. Nice block by Lane Tech. And they get another point. Nice serve into Lane Tech's hole in their defense. Gives Whitney Young possession back, and the score is 20-18. And a strong serve goes out of bounds in the back court side of Lane Tech's territory. Score is 21-18. Great blocking by Lane Tech's number 13 and 8. Gives them another point. Great defense from both sides. There's a lot of blocking going on in this set. Another block by Lane Tech. And a nice dig by number 23 for Lane Tech. Nice recovery by Lane Tech's number 1 libero, Appizato. Keeps Lane Tech alive in the rally. Nice dig from Whitney Young's number 24. And Lane Tech loading up another attack. And nice recovery by number 7. And Whitney Young wins the rally as Lane Tech's mistake on the serve hits the net and back into their court. Score is 22-19. And another strong serve. Too much power behind that serve gives Lane Tech yet another point. Too many mistakes on the serves going on from Whitney Young. The serve. Lane Tech loading up an attack. And they find a hole in Whitney Young's defense and gives themselves another point. There's so much energy going on in Lane Tech's bleacher side. And another timeout called by Whitney Young as they are down by 5 points. Lane Tech only needs one more point to win this set. There's so much energy going on for Lane Tech. As Whitney Young's side of their bleachers is desolate. Nice recovery by Lane Tech. And a miss serve gives Lane Tech a set 1 win. Final score for the set is 25-19. Set 2 begins now for Lane Tech versus Whitney Young. As you could see from the break, so much energy from the Lane Tech side, but not so much from Whitney Young. Lane Tech starting off with the possession of the ball. Laverde first off to serve. Nice defense and attack. A powerful spike into Whitney Young's desolate space gives Whitney Young the first point. Nice spike by number 39, Pollock. Deflection into the out of bounds territory gives Whitney Young their first point of the game. The score is 1-1. Lane Tech loading up an attack. And the ball is just out of bounds, giving Whitney Young the lead. Miscoordination on the spike, on the serve, I should say, gives Lane Tech back their possession of the ball. The score is now tied. Nice spike by number 8 from Lane Tech, right into the left side corner of Whitney Young's hole, gives them a point. Serve. A spike into the net of Lane Tech gives Whitney Young another point. An attack by Lane Tech. Nice block by Whitney Young. Deflects back into Lane Tech's side, and number 17 of Lane Tech could not get to a position to deflect the ball back in court. Now the score is tied 4-4. Lane Tech receives possession again. Score is 5-4. Served by the libero of Lane Tech. And the spike is just too far off of the court. Too much power behind it. We've seen it all game. Whitney Young has put too much power into their serves, giving Lane Tech a majority of points. And a nice strong serve to the Lane Tech's libero. Deflects off court and gives Whitney Young back possession. 6-5, Lane Tech leading. Nice defense by Whitney Young's number 1. And a great block by Lane Tech's number 13, Flynn. Gives Lane Tech a point and their possession back. Score is 7-5 here in set 2. Lane Tech won set 1. And they're looking here to win set 2 and sweep Whitney Young in this dynamic rivalry. But a strong serve by Lane Tech gives Whitney Young back possession. Score is 7-6. The attack by Whitney Young. And a slight touch of the spike into Lane Tech's hole in their defense gives Whitney Young another point, and the score is now tied at 7. A strong spike, but into the net. And now Whitney Young leads. Lane Tech with the attack. Loading up an attack. Nice defense by Whitney Young. And a great attack by Lane Tech's number 13. Right into the hole in the left corner yet again. Giving Lane Tech possession back and tying the game at 8. Number 40 with the serve. Whitney Young with the attack. And the spike deflects off of the net and back. Giving Lane Tech another point. And Whitney Young gains back possession on the serve that deflects into the net. Or gets hit into the net. Nice recovery by 23 of Lane Tech. And a nice block by Lane Tech's number 14 and 13. Lane Tech leading by 1. The score 10-9. And a powerful serve by Lane Tech. It's hit out of bounds to the backcourt territory of Whitney Young, giving them back their possession. Now the score is tied 10 at 10. And another missed serve by Whitney Young gives back. Lane Tech, yet again, another possession. Back to Lane Tech's number 24, Laverde on the serve. Set 2 has been a close game compared to set 1, where Lane Tech led the majority of the games. But in set 2, there's been a lot of back and forths of the score on who is leading, and there has been a lot of ties. And the serve, Whitney Young with an attack, and Lane Tech gets a point. Whitney Young, number 24, I believe, stepped on the line of the midcourt. Score is now 12-10. And a strong serve into the backcourt of Whitney Young gives back Whitney Young their possession of the ball. There have been a lot of back and forths on the missed serves in this game. Not only in set 2, but yet in set 1. An attack by Lane Tech, number 24 on the serve, and a block by Whitney Young. And a nice defense by Laverde on the dig. The attack. And another great display of defense by number 21. The attack. And a block by Whitney Young gives them their point. The block deflects the ball back into Lane Tech's side. And there was no defender there to block it this time. Score is now tied for both teams at 12. And another missed serve. Too much power on the serve by Whitney Young gives Lane Tech the lead and their possession back. And another powerful serve right into the backcourt of Whitney Young's out of bounds territory. Gives them back their ball. And now the game is tied at 13. Nice defense from Lane. And an error by Lane Tech. I believe number 39 for Lane Tech stepped on the line, but I'm not too sure on that call. Nice attempt of a dig by Lane Tech, but it is unsuccessful and gives Whitney Young another point. 13-15, Whitney Young leads by 2. And another dig by Lane Tech, but is unsuccessful for a return. Whitney Young gaining 2 points off of those 2 digs by the same Lane Tech player. And now they're leading by 3. A timeout called by Lane Tech to manage this deficit. and hopefully get them back to winning or to leading this game again. Whitney Young is starting to look a lot more happier and a lot more energized this part of the game. Nice recovery by number 21, but number 6 by Lane Tech has a struggle on the receive of the ball, and the ball deflects out of bounds. And Whitney Young roaring back in this game with a nice, powerful serve in between 4 of Lane Tech's defenders and into the hole. Now leading by 5. But Lane Tech's bleachers are roaring back. They're giving Lane Tech's team the energy they need to get back in this game. The attack by Lane Tech, and it is good! The deflection off of number 4 goes right back and gives Lane Tech possession back. The tap by Whitney Young. Nice block by Lane Tech, but they could not see where the ball had went. It was right in front of them the whole time. Whitney Young back with the possession, leading by 5, 14-19. Lane Tech, nice defense and recovery. And the attack loaded up by Lane Tech. And gives Lane Tech a point on an error by Whitney Young. Score is now 15-19. Lane Tech down by 4. They are still in this game. And a strong recovery by Whitney Young on a powerful serve, on a powerful spike by Whitney Young's number 7. Gives them back their possession, 15-20. Lane Tech's bleachers on their feet, hoping for a comeback for their team. Nice defense by number 4 for Whitney Young. But a strong serve, a strong spike goes in the back territory of Lane Tech, giving them back their possession. Whitney Young back with possession. Score is 17-21. Lane Tech hoping to come back in this from this 4-point deficit. And a point given to Whitney Young on an error. And timeout by Lane Tech. A lot of energy going on for Whitney Young. And in their bleachers, although it is small, there is a lot of energy coming out. And a strong serve from Lane Tech. Gives another point to Whitney Young as they are 2 points away from winning set 2. The attack. And Whitney Young 1 point away. Set 2 has been a close matchup, but Whitney Young has come out soaring and roaring on the back end of the game. Nice recovery by Lane Tech on the block. But also another recovery by Whitney Young. And a deflection on the serve. Gives Lane Tech yet their possession again. They cannot make any mistakes on the serves or on defense for a matter. They need a miracle to win set 2. Nice recovery by Lane Tech. Loading up an attack, Whitney Young. And they win set 2. Lane Tech gave it all. There will be a set 3 played as the game is tied 1 apiece. And we'll get right back at you. Welcome back to set 3 of Lane Tech versus Whitney Young varsity volleyball. It is tied 1 apiece on both sides. Lane Tech wins possession for the third set. And nice block by numbers 39 and 24 for Lane Tech, giving them the first point of the game. They need to go all out for this set to win the game. Both sides need to. But let's see who's more hungrier to win this game. And a miscommunication by the libero, number 1 and number 6, gives Whitney Young possession, their first possession of the game. Score is 1-1. A tough rivalry between these two. Whitney Young has been winning most of the varsity games this year. But let's see if Lane can get their first one. And a block by Whitney Young, and the misdirection of the defense gives Whitney Young another point. Nice dig by the libero. And an error by Whitney Young gives Lane Tech their possession back. Score is tied 2-2. Blocked by Lane Tech. And a defense. And an attack. A nice block from Whitney Young. Gives them back the lead. The score is 2-3. Nice dig by number 3, the libero. And a spike that goes out of bounds. Gives Whitney Young another point. Leading by 2 now. Nice defense by Whitney Young. And the block. Lane Tech didn't have enough time to react and get to that ball. Off the deflection of the block. Score is 2-5. Whitney Young is leading early on in this game. And a deflection off of the net. And nice recovery there and dig by number 1, the libero of Lane Tech. And a block. Nice defense by 21 of Lane Tech. We've seen great defense from both sides. But Whitney Young's attack is just too much for Lane Tech as they lead by 4 now. Scores 2-6. Lane Tech needs to bring in their A game to win this game. Nice dig by the Liberal. And a great spike by number 39 for Lane Tech. Gives them back their possession. After a 4-point score by Whitney Young. Score is now 3-6. And a strong spike by number 24 gives Whitney Young their possession back. Number 24 tried to argue that it hit someone on the block from Whitney Young, leading to the out of bounds ball. And a nice recovery there from Lane Tech on the serve. Gives them back their possession. Score is now 4-7. Whitney Young is leading. Everyone for Lane Tech on their feet. And a strong spike by Whitney Young. They thought that it grazed someone from Lane Tech on a block, but that was not the case from the referee. Score is 5-7. Nice recovery by Lane Tech. And a nice serve by the Liberal, but it is recovered by Whitney Young. And another great spike, but Whitney Young's defense is one step ahead. An error by Whitney Young, I believe, from a step on the line, gives Lane Tech the point on the relay. Nice block by Lane Tech. This time they knew where the ball went and they recovered fine. The score is now tied at 7. Lane Tech with the early comeback, but a missed serve by Lane Tech gives Whitney Young back their lead and their possession. And a nice spike deflected off of the defender and out of bounds gives Lane Tech their possession, and now the game is tied. Score is 8. Great recovery by Whitney Young from the serve. Blocked by Lane Tech. And the referee said that she had touched the net or something like that, giving Whitney Young their possession back and their lead again. They're leading again at 9. Nice recovery. And the ball. And The confusion on the slight tap in went through 4 defenders of Whitney Young into the hole. Score is now tied again at 9. But a missed serve into the net. Frustrations are showing for Lane Tech. They want to win this game, but they have to cut down the errors and miscommunication. Score is now 9-10. Whitney Young leading in this back and forth game of set 3. Nice block by Whitney Young. And an attempt of a dig and a save by the Liberal is unsuccessful. Tensions are high for both of these teams. And a miss spike for Whitney Young gives Lane Tech their possession back. Number 21 for Lane Tech, Laverde on the serve. Nice block by Lane Tech. And the score is tied. And Lane Tech with another point on the mishap by Whitney Young on the recovery and on the serve. Lane Tech ecstatic now. They have their first lead in a while. But they need to keep this up. And the tap in goes out of bounds. This is the run Lane Tech needs to secure this win against Whitney Young. And a miscue by number 7's Whitney Young. The ball grazed her arm in hopes of avoiding the ball and letting it go out of bounds. But that is not the case, as Lane Tech now leads by 3. Their biggest lead of the game. Timeout called by Whitney Young. A lot of energy going on in Lane Tech's side of the bleachers, of the stands. Score is 14-11. The winner of this set wins the whole game. On the serve. Nice spike by number 39. Deflects off of the defender. It would have gone out of bounds, but the mistake by the defender bails out Lane Tech, giving them a 4-point lead.
Whitney Young on the attack. Nice defense by Lane Tech. And a serve that is just too powerful and went to the back out of bounds territory. Gives Whitney Young possession back. Score is now 15-12. Lane Tech is leading by 3. They need to keep this up in order to win. They cannot let Whitney Young back or close to being back. Attack on the miss. Nice recovery by number 23 for Whitney Young. And the spike goes out of bounds. Nice thinking by the defenders of Lane Tech. Score is now 16-12. And a serve that goes out of bounds for Lane Tech. 16-13 is now the score. Lane Tech leading by 3. And a miscue on the defense of Lane Tech gives Whitney Young yet another point. 2 points down now for Whitney Young. Nice serve, nice spike by number 24. The slight tap confused the blockers of Whitney Young. Deflected right on downwards, and giving Lane Tech a point. A nice, strong spike for Whitney Young gives them back their possession as it deflected into Lane Tech's out of bounds territory. Score 17-15. Nice dig by number 40. And an error on the pass. Gives Whitney Young yet another point. A nice dig by the liberal. Nice recovery by 21. And a nice serve by Whitney Young's number 18 went right through the blocks of Lane Tech. And timeout called by Lane Tech as now the score is tied at 17. Both sides are energized in this close game. Lane Tech bleachers on their feet in this tie game. The serve by Whitney Young. The attack. And deflected off the blockers down into the ground. gives Lane Tech back their lead. Nice recovery by Lane Tech on the strong serve. And it went right into the hole of Whitney Young's defense for another point. Lane Tech leading now by 2. 19-17 is the score. And a miss spike. The spike that hit the net gives Lane Tech a 3-point lead. And timeout called by Whitney Young. Lane Tech is not done yet. They need 5 more to secure the win and to keep Whitney Young at bay. Nice recovery by the Liberal. Nice defense by Lane Tech. Another great save. And the serve. And Lane Tech scoring another point. They are now 4 away from winning this game. And an error on the blocks. Touching the line, I believe. Gives Whitney Young possession. The energy from Lane Tech's crowd is resonating inside the gym, giving Lane Tech's volleyball team the energy they need to persevere in this game. Nice trickery by Lane Tech. Strong serve, great saves. Nice recovery by Lane Tech's defense. And a ball deflected from the net is just out of reach for Lane Tech's defense and of its Liberal. 21-19 is the score. Lane Tech leading. Whitney Young, yet another point on the block. Lane Tech subbing in number 15 for number 13. Subbing out number 13 for number 15, I should say. And the attack, nice strong serve, deflects into the air. Another attack loaded up. Nice defense of Whitney Young. Another dig by Whitney Young, number 24. And a strong serve that goes out of bounds. Lane Tech 22-20 now. Three points away from winning. Can Lane Tech keep this up? Miscommunication on the block. The trickery by Whitney. Gives back their possession. Now they are one down. Score is 22-21. Lane Tech 3 away from winning. Nice block from Whitney Young. Now the score is tied. 22 apiece. It is anyone's game. Nice block and an error by Whitney Young gives Lane Tech possession back and a lead. Yet again, 2 points away from winning. Lane Tech needs to be immaculate on the serves and spot on the defense. Nice recovery by Lane Tech. And an attack. And a deceptive play by Whitney Young goes wrong. As a slight tap does not make it above the net, but right back into their territory. 1 point away now for Lane Tech. And Lane Tech wins the game. The students are running into the field. And Lane Tech wins the game, the volleyball game. 2-1. Lane Tech has gone dolphin hunting today and has gone on top. The first dolphin hunting success of the season, I believe. And there is more to come tomorrow for football tomorrow night. I am your broadcaster, Gumsang, and we will be seeing you tomorrow for yet another tense game for Lane Tech and Whitney Young, but for different sports. For flag football and for football, I believe. And we'll see you next time. Lane Tech Broadcasting out.